Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Harrison Explained, and today we are going to discuss dementia. Dementia can have very different courses. It can be slowly progressive, like Alzheimer's. It can be static, and it can also fluctuate throughout the day, as in the case of dementia with Lewy bodies. If you come across a patient with dementia, you should think of Alzheimer's, vascular causes like infarctions, etc., alcoholism, and LBD. These are the 5 most common causes of dementia, with the 5th one being drug toxicity. In real life, one should never miss any differential where dementia is reversible. For this purpose, it would be beneficial if you look out for depression, normal pressure hydrocephalus, alcoholism, and drug overdose in all patients where the diagnosis is uncertain. Harrison says that if there is even a 1 to 2% chance of getting a test positive for such a differential, you should go for it. On the other hand, Alzheimer's, DLB, frontotemporal dementia, prion diseases, and Huntington's chorea are some of the conditions where dementia will present with neurodegeneration. You will be able to get to a diagnosis mostly from the history. We all know that in Alzheimer's there is slow progressive loss of memory, while in FTD the patient will have personality changes. He or she will have a compulsive eating behavior, weight gain because of such behavior, and loss of fluency. In DLB, visual hallucinations are commonly seen, and in addition to that, Parkinsonism-like features may be seen. Sometimes you also get to see Capgras syndrome, wherein the patient will assume a close relative or family member to be an imposter. In vascular causes of dementia, a history of gait disturbances, atrial fibrillation, diabetes, hypertension, or peripheral vascular disease will be seen. This will be quite easy to remember. As you can see, these neurodegenerative diseases have varying histories, so it shouldn't be an issue in differentiating them. Moving on to the physical and neurologic exam, we will follow a similar scheme here too. In Alzheimer's, the motor symptoms appear late, while they are early in FTD. You will also see symptoms like axial rigidity and supranuclear gaze palsy. In DLB, as we have already mentioned, Parkinsonian symptoms will be seen, but don't forget that visual hallucination and dementia will be the main sign and symptoms you should look out for. There is another condition which was there in Harrison's, so I have included it for completeness sake. A patient with progressive supranuclear palsy will have a history of unexplained falls and dysphagia. Moving on to the lab investigations, the American Association of Neurology recommends that CBC, electrolyte levels, renal and thyroid function tests, vitamin B12 levels, and CT or MRI should be done in every patient who presents with dementia. MRI helps differentiate Alzheimer's from DLB in that Alzheimer will have hippocampal atrophy while DLB will have low levels of prominent atrophy. Amyloid imaging is also done to exclude Alzheimer's. EEG and LP studies are not routinely done. This can be useful in MCQs where if a patient presents with dementia, these are not the studies which will be done in normal circumstances. Last of all, we have treatment. We have the conventional drugs like SSRIs, SNRIs and benzodiazepines. For Alzheimer's, we currently use donepezil, which is a cholinesterase inhibitor. If there are underlying causes to the dementia like hypothyroid status, infections or NPH, we can treat them accordingly. This brings us to the end of this video. If you found this content useful, do like and subscribe. See you in the next one.